Welcome once again, my friends from around the world. This is Sunday Night Alive Power Hour with your host, Soldier of Self-Mastery. This is episode number 98, and I'm trying to keep myself together here so that we can have a great program. I'm actually utilizing my tablet today on this episode, so I want to welcome you from around the world, wherever you may be. We're gonna take on a topic tonight in this broadcast, but what's on your mind tonight? What are you thinking about tonight on this broadcast as you come into this broadcast from around the world? Whatever it is that you may be seeking, what are we seeking? Why are we here? Well, I believe that we're here to improve upon what we've already improved upon on this life road called journey that you and I are on. All right, this is episode number 98, and I want to thank you. Now, today's topic, before I get into this, today's topic is, here's the title of it. What could you do or improve upon by making more deliberate use of this tool called planning? Let me read that again, because I really want us to focus on this key word, planning, plan, and how this could make your life, my life, and maybe even the lives of those around us a whole lot better. Is it possible? What could you do or improve upon by making more deliberate use of this tool called planning? Could not doing better planning be holding you back? What's on your mind tonight, my friend? Let's get into this and build greater self-value. Build greater self-value. So this and much, much more on this program. And let me see, take a few minutes here. And what are we doing? We want to further ourselves on this positive road we now walk on together, right? We're walking on this road together. So we want to build up greater value. We want to build up more purpose in our lives. We want to go forward. I don't know about you, but man, I want to go forward. I want to grow, and I want to make more of an impact upon people's lives around me, because that helps me generate income, right? We generate income by bringing value into the lives of other people. So I want to become more valuable. I want to help you become more valuable. What's on your mind, my friend? Let me take a few minutes before I get into today's proverb, all right? I'm trying to contain myself here in this broadcast. I was speaking with a client. I consider her a client before jumping on this episode, and I was really emotional, man. I'm like, I'm already getting into the broadcast, so I got to contain myself a little bit, all right? So before I do, once again, welcome. Let me see if I see we have a few people that have come on here. Maybe looks like they're the invisible men and the invisible women on this program today, because I can see some of you. And either that, or you don't want to show who you are. You're hiding for some reason. You're incognito. Anyways, if you are, I'm going to read today's proverb because I don't see any questions, so I can't see what's on your mind. I can't pick on you because I can't see who's here. Anyways, wait a minute. No. Yeah. There we go. I'm still fairly new at this program with this new StreamYard program. So bear with me, my friends. Let me see. I want to post something else differently. Here's what I want to do. Okay. Let's get into today's proverb, which is Job 37:5. I really appreciate the scriptures. I really appreciate the word of God because it's For me, it's part of my support system. Every day I meditate on scriptures from the King James Bible. I got a question. Do you read? Do you read the scriptures? Do you meditate on scripture? It's a good practice to get into, along with prayer. All right. I'm not talking about church. I'm not talking about religion. I'm just talking about those two life hacks. All right. Proverbs, actually, Job 37:5 says, God thunders marvelously. With his voice, great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. Wow. What is God up to? You ever think about what the Creator's up to? How's he thinking? He oversees this whole entire ecosystem, this planet, the universe. That's deep, my friend. I don't know. I know we can't even tap into that kind of thinking because we're bound by the earth. We're earthlings. We're bound by the earth. So we think on a different realm than our Creator does. But I'm encouraging you. I'm encouraging you to read and meditate on scripture. That's if you want better planning in your life, if you want more value, if you want to become more purposeful, more creative, more of a visionary for yourself, if you want to become more of a servant unto others. And planning has to do with all of these things, my friend. So what is the house cleaning today? Well, we have a new podcast that started. I would encourage you, if you haven't checked it out, Soldiers of Self-Mastery. You can always go to soldiersofselfmastery.com and check out our new podcast. I'm going to encourage you to spy on Cephas and I. And do you like to spy? Some people like to spy. So I'm inviting you to spy at the hub, soldiersofselfmastery.com, right? Spy on Cephas and I, see what we're up to and how we plan on changing lives and serving others around the globe. I get excited about this stuff. So the book. By the way, I am doing a raffle here on this broadcast. If the number between 0 and 150, if you get that number, you're going to get a copy of either one of these two books. By the way, this book that I'm giving away here is actually it's kind of a rough draft copy, but it still has a lot of my mind and a lot of the content that we used in the newest version. I have quite a few of these, and I'm just going to give them away. Sign them and give them away. It's good content, a good material inside, good content. So either one of these, and I'm asking you to support the mission, my friend. If you truly believe in what I'm doing, if you want to help other people, if you want to be a part of something huge, this is, I'm just scratching the surface here. Really, what I'm doing is so small right now. This is the time to get in and become a family member with us. Support the mission financially, buy a book, get into the GABA. I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in a minute. You can also go to highachievers.me and get my partner's book. It's a good book. It's got some good stuff in it. Highachievers.me if you're into reading. Listen, all of these tools support the mission. Maybe you don't like to read. You can always buy the book and give it away. All right. And by the way, those of you that are still gambling, if you're giving your money away to the casino, wherever you are from around the world, if you're still gambling and you're giving your money away to the casino, why not invest in yourself? Why not invest in your future? Why not enroll into the GABA, the Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Academy? You can check out what we have to offer right there. I mean, it's pennies in comparison to what you continually give to the casino, my friend. You can invest in yourself. It's a one-time small payment. You have lifetime access to a group of videos that nobody else has access to. You're not going to find these videos anywhere else online. They're exclusive to GABA. You're going to have a guideline worksheet to help you get out of that shithole. Pardon my French. You got to get out of there. You have to get out of that place. And whether it's gambling or some other addiction, you can do it with GABA. Again, pennies on the dollar, download from anywhere around the world. No excuses, my friend. Or you can just continue giving your hard-earned money to the casinos if that's your choice. All right, I'm done with that. I'm taking on your questions. I see we've got a few people on here. I don't know what's happening today. Who knows? Maybe everybody's gone. Let me see. I don't have any. Let me see. There are some people on. It is live. Okay, it doesn't look like. Well, we'll just keep going. You know what? I'm excited because I'm privileged to be here. I'm privileged to be live, and I'm privileged to be working on myself, getting myself more free every day. So let me ask you a question, and I'll have to answer this myself because I see invisible women and invisible men on my broadcast today. This is awfully strange. Is planning important to be able to distract distractions? Did I get through my whole house cleaning? Yes, I did. I talked about the books. I talked about GABA. I asked you to support the mission. And I did put up soldiersofselfmastery.com. And whoever picks the right number will get a free book from me, if you want one. Either that, I'll just keep it collecting dust here in my small office. So interact with you. Is planning important to be able to distract distractions? How can it be effective in keeping you focused? And we're talking about planning. We're talking about the tool, learning how to effectively use, right? Really what this episode is really all about is you're already planning. You plan your day. I'm sure you plan maybe even moment by moment. You plan. There's a lot of things that you do when it comes to planning. You're already doing these things. Is it possible to take that tool that you're already using to another level? We have to look at our lives, right? We have to look at our lives individually for this to analyze and see. Because imagine all the areas, family, right? Children, the job, business, even reading a book, taking notes, going for a walk, associating with meetings at work, whatever. It's planning. How effective is the planning in your life? How effective is the planning in my life? Let me ask you a real serious question. If you're an addict, if you're a gambler, is the planning that you're doing working for you? Is it working for you, my friend? What is going on? Why am I not getting let me see, private chat. Private chat is on. Comments. Show. Hide. Hey, don't bust my chops here. I'm just still working on this. Is anybody here? Am I alone? Either that or maybe the chat section is not working. No, the chat is working. Okay. Well, we're back. We're talking about planning. Is it possible that you can actually take what you're currently doing? And how would that be? Hey, I got somebody's on here. Somebody's not invisible. Hi, Nahil. I'm sitting here talking to myself here. I feel lonely. I feel excitedly lonely, but I'm reminding myself of something here on this broadcast about planning. I know I personally need more effective planning in my life. How do you know that, Santos? Because I get distracted. Do you get distracted? Of course we all do. All the stuff that we have to go through every single day, even just to come here and get in front of the camera, I have to plan. I have to have some kind of planning. And some days I do a little bit better than other days. But you know what? I show up and I'm here. By the way, good afternoon to you, Nahil. I don't know what you're up to. Hopefully you're doing great today. If you have a question, you have an observation, we're talking about planning. How effective is your planning in your personal life, right? That's really what we need to be asking ourselves here. Because some people just don't care. They're going to allow the life and just experiences to just dictate what I mean, some people will do the minimum of planning for themselves, right? They won't even, in fact, some people don't even know what planning really means. What the word planning actually means. You ever run into people like that? I used to be one of them. Talk to me about planning. I didn't know. I didn't even know what that really meant. Today, it means a lot. The word planning is like you think it's not just one little deal. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. By the way, welcome to the episode number 98, Jim. I don't know if you have a question for me today. I appreciate Jim. We've been working on our podcast. We have an episode that we were working on. Cephas, Jim, and I. Does purpose lead to happiness? I think it's a good episode, but we've been having some technical difficulties, technical issues with that broadcast. Anyways, we are talking about planning. I'm going to bring this question up again because I want us to think about this. Okay, what could you do? What could you do or improve upon by making more deliberate use of this tool called planning? It's a great question to ask. Great question to ask ourselves, right? Because Monday's coming. You don't have to do a whole lot of planning on weekends unless you're, taking a trip or doing something with the family, or you've got, we do plan on weekends too. Probably do more specific planning on Monday through Friday, possibly. I don't know. Some people can work on Saturday and Sunday and then have the rest of the week off. Most people work on Monday through Friday, right? And then have weekends off. It really depends on your lifestyle, really depends on what you've got going on in your life. But we are talking about self-improvement. We're talking about self-empowerment. Again, where do you want to see your life as we approach this new year? Where do you want to see these areas of your life, all of these areas that you have? Does effective planning or more, does effective planning, does it help you maintain balance in your life? Can it help you with having a greater sense of well-being, a sound mind? Sound mind, so huge today, man, in this world, to be able to have a sound mind. You talk to people sometimes and they're not there. They've got problems. That's all they talk about is their problems. And planning. All right, I'm preaching here. I've got a couple of questions that I want to ask. I don't know if anybody, Jim, Nahil, I see we've got a few people that are showing up. Do you have a question? Are you a expert? Please help me, because I could use some observations. If you're an expert when it comes to planning, come on, man, give up some of your secrets here. Let me see. Jim says, I fear planning because I know that I did not take action. Hi, Laura. I see you there. Jim says, I fear planning. Maybe we're just getting a late start on this program. Jim says, I fear planning because I know that I did not take action. Your statement, Jim, kind of reminds me of that statement that goes like, we don't plan to fail. We fail because we don't plan. That's what kind of that reminds me, right? We don't fail to plan. We don't plan to fail, but we fail because we don't plan. And life, to me, it just seems like we really, really need to be working on all of these areas that we talk about on these Sunday night episodes, because it's only going to make your life better. It's only going to make if I work on improving my planning department, right? Not just my planning department up here, but if I work on, or when I work on that more effectively, what does that do for me? What's that going to do for my future, right? What's that going to do for others around me? I was talking to somebody earlier. Somebody else made a mistake, right? They didn't plan. It affected them. It not only affected the person that didn't plan, but it affected the other person that was close by, a family member or a friend. Planning is so much of a big part of our lives, and we really need to get a hold of we really need to, either that or we're just going to let life dictate, right? Life will dictate, experiences will dictate most of your planning for you. And that's what we see today. I know I used to live that way. Anybody care to add? Jim, Nahil, Laura. I saw your comment on my video recently. By the way, since I'm here, I want to do a shout out to Seahawks. A special shout out to Seahawks. He posted on my video, it's time to give the casino the boot. Looks like he's getting some victory in his life. I don't know his name. I just know him by Seahawks for Life. Seahawks, the number 4 for life on YouTube. He commented about his freedom on my video. Thank you for commenting, by the way, Seahawk for Life. Whoever thou art. So let's get to this next step here. Let me see. Did I put that on there? Let me see. If you got a question, throw it up, my friend. I'm just, that's not what I wanted. Planning is really big deal. It involves everything about us. In some instances, it's really needed. At others, not so much. Well, that's true. On weekends, we slow down a little bit, right? We don't need a lot of planning on weekends unless something is coming at us on weekends. That most people relax. Most people relax on weekends. Thank you for sharing, Jim. Laura, do you have anything you want to share? Keep on trucking. Let me see. I have life planning, daily planning, moment by moment. How does all of this works together in your life? There's so much types of planning, daily, weekly, etc. How does it work? How does it all work? You know, sometimes it just seems to work, a lot of it all together, but it's like we're putting things together from a long time ago, right? It's a cause and effect. We do something last year, we might still be reaping the benefits or the consequences of what we did, of the planning, poor planning that we did last year. And man, I don't know about you, my friend, but I truly want to get it right, better. I want to do better this year, you know, with my business, with my mindset, with relationships, with my every single day interactions. That's what I'm talking about. All right, well, I see people dropping off. This must be a very boring subject to some. I'm not sure. Let me ask you a couple more questions that I got from the studio office. From the studio people. No, I've already mentioned it helps create balance and keeps a self of greater sense of being. That's one positive. Can effective planning or more effective planning or thinking about your current planning get things done better? Can it get things done faster for you? If you effectively look at you want to analyze, you want to effectively look at what you're currently doing, right? Planning is a big deal. It is part of our daily activities, and the better that you get at planning, the better off. Plan against temptation, right? You plan with your finances. You don't plan against your finances, but you can plan against temptation. You can plan against triggers, right? You analyze certain experiences that you've had with certain people or certain meetings or certain places. You analyze and you plan. You plan more effectively for the next encounter. Hey, remember to get a copy of my book, Cephas's book here, highachievers.me, support the mission. All right. Remember the other book right here. Got to put this in here. Santos, 3 Life's and More Important Questions. And again, if you get a number from between 1 and 50, I'm going to send you the copy of the Little Red Book. What is this, man? This is a rough draft. It needs editing, but it still has a lot of great content in it, man. I'm giving it away. Just one number. Oh, it could be a set of 3 numbers. Jesse Valdez, welcome to episode number 90. Omar Khan says, no, it's not. Maybe he doesn't like me. I'm not sure. Rob, welcome to the episode. Uh, in the face, without a trace. I don't know. I show that one. So we got a few people that are coming on board here. Laura says, hi, everyone. So, Rob, yeah, just kidding. We've been talking about planning. I mean, I don't know. Is there an expert planner on this episode? Are you an expert planner? You plan it every day, moment by moment, week by week? You know, we have these, we're planning about all kinds of different things. You got a life plan, you got a daily plan, you got a moment by moment plan. You got plans that you made last week that you should have kept this week that now you got to redo and all these. So we're always planning. We just need to become more effective. How do you become more effective? How do you become more an effective planner for yourself? And of course, you have to ask yourself the question, do I really want to? Do I really need to become more, or am I satisfied? Man, I'm completely happy where I am at. I'm satisfied. I'm like I didn't say you were, okay? So don't, like a pig in the mud. We're happy, right? I guess pigs like mud, kind of stuff. Or am I losing myself on this episode? Man, I had so many things to think about here to talk about, but I'm not getting, for some reason, I'm not moving you guys enough here to work with me. Let me see. Santos, you can't see our messages. I can see some of them. I can see them now. Yeah, there's something going on with but I can see them now. All right. Well, my friends, the time has come. I can see them now. Nahil, I can see them now. I can see them now. All right. Boy, I did so much preaching here for just a minute, man. I got to drink more water. Anyways, I know personally I'm going to be working on my planning more. I have to, because if I don't, you become distracted. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I said you got to distract your distractions with a positive distraction. There's always going to be room for improvement within room for improvement. All right? Train your brain so that your brain trains you. And the good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Is planning more effectively a good, positive reminder? Jesse, let me see. What does Jesse say here? Planning, saving money, not being at the casino. You have to plan. Exactly, Jesse. You have to plan against these things that are facing us. If we don't plan, I mean, some people, I love to plan on paper. I like analyzing. I like doing, things on paper. I'm using my tablet a little bit more. This is what I do. This is where I spend a lot of my time analyzing and just planning, because, my friends, the truth is that if you want to become better, if you want to become more valuable, if you want to become more purposeful, if you want to have a greater sense of well-being, planning is a big part of life. And you can start little by little. They say inch by inch, it's a cinch, right? You got to start somewhere, little by little. If you look at your life and you see wrecks and you see mess and you don't see things the way you want them, well, it's a great place to start today. It's a great place. And as we enter the new year, 2020, right? How much more effective do you want to be? You want to generate more income? You want to generate more business? And doesn't mean that everything is going to just be perfect all the time. That there's no perfection. That's BS. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes, when you practice, it makes better. It makes you better, right? Especially when you practice positive habits that you're not used to building or you're not used to using. Planning is an effective tool that most people today, I would say 98, 99% of the people today do not use it. They don't even know what it means. Most people run when you start talking about planning. Well, you need a planning for your finances. You need a planning against, this temptation that you have. You need to plan for your marriage. You need to have a good plan for your marriage. You need to have life goals, all of these things. I don't have it all together. I've got all kinds of stuff written in different places, and a lot of it got memorized already, but it evolves, it changes as we go forward in life, right? Things have to change and evolve for you, but you must evaluate and you have to plan. You have to plan, my friend. You must plan. You got to plan. All right, let me see. Rob says, I'm retired every day. All right. Let me see here. I often get negative with the idea of planning because I used it as an excuse to not execute and just procrastinate. There's little tricks, right? I've been really sharing this a lot more, that you have to be creative. We have to really learn to get ourselves to stay in a state of mind that's called a theta state, THETA, theta. And that mind state is a very playful state. It's a very imaginative. It's a state of imagination. It really allows you to become more creative, more playful. You come up with ideas, real weird stuff that can happen with you. To get yourself in that state, right? And this is all part of it. This is all part of it, to get yourself to be more playful, to be more creative, to be you, to be who you want to be. And of course, that allows you to be able to generate more income. That allows you to be able to serve people more effectively. And it is a process, right? It doesn't happen overnight. You might think, okay, I'm going to start planning more effectively today, and tomorrow everything falls apart. Well, I'm not going to plan because look at what happened. I started planning and it all fell. This is part of the journey. It may happen that way. You get up and you keep on going forward, right? We don't fail to plan. We don't plan to fail. You don't plan to fail. You fail because you don't plan. And again, I'm talking to somebody here just as well as I'm talking to myself. You need more effective planning in certain areas of your life. And you know what? You needed to be here to hear this message today. Remember earlier before we started, I said, why are you here? Why am I here? Maybe I said it in another episode. Why are we here? We are here to develop a greater value, a greater self-value, right? We're walking on this positive road called life's journey, and we are building self-value. You want to build self-value, because the more value that you build, the more valuable that you become, the more effective, the better things that you can do. And again, if you're into generating more income, that's how you're going to generate more income, by becoming more valuable. And becoming more valuable is another broad subject. It's huge. You can become more valuable from different areas, different sources. This is just one tool that can help you make your life more valuable, utilizing planning more effectively. All right, my friends, I'm done. I hope I was funny enough for you on this episode. Do I amuse you? Am I like a clown? No, I'm just kidding here. All right, let me see if I get some questions. Laura says, temptation is hard. Well, if you plan against temptation, Laura, it's going to help you defeat temptation, because temptation is an enemy, right? I'm reminded of the scripture that says in the Bible, I believe it's in Proverbs, it says, the way of the transgressor is hard. When we trespass laws, not out, even outside of ourselves, right? There's laws that are out there, the stop sign, thou shalt not murder, uh, don't cross the street before looking. There's kind of laws that we have to focus on out there. And then there's principle laws that we need to focus on inside of our own minds. And if we violate those things, it becomes hard for us. It becomes difficult. I know in my life, when I work very diligently on myself, but man, sometimes I fail. I make a mistake. I say the wrong thing. I go to the wrong place. Whatever it may be, it's hard, but you have to lift yourself up. You have to replan, and you have to make yourself better for the next experience. That's why I talk about all of these things. I'm all over the place. It's all about mind stuff, right? MIND, mind stuff, self mastery and self empowerment. And personal, you got to make it yours. And however it fits you, all of these things that I share, you're not going to do exactly like I do it. You got to make it yours. You got to take what I'm sharing with you and listen to what you are saying to you, right? You got to take what I'm sharing and listen to what you are saying to you and put that to play, put that to plan in your life. All right. So hopefully that helps a little bit, Laura. Temptation is hard. It is if you don't plan against it, if you don't fight against it. And it gets a lot easier once you stand up against that bully, right? The first time, the second time, the third time that you stand up against that bully, it's going to be a lot easier for you to stand up against it the fourth time. And then after a while, that bully won't come around as much. Oh, it'll come around, but it knows that you mean business. So it won't bother you as much. Hopefully that helps. Let me see. Anything else? Anything else having to do with, Jim says, when you plan, you must commit to action. Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up, Jim, because that is the call to action. How do we put this together? How do we make this thing more effectively in our lives? Well, you can turn this into a game. You can ask yourself the question, how can I turn this planning thing in my life and make it better? How is it possible that I can turn this into a game and win at it? Anything in life that you ask yourself the question, can I turn this into a game? Your mind shifts and it begins to give you solutions and different answers. It's actually pretty cool when you ask yourself that question. So what do we do? Where do we grow from here, right? Where do we grow from here? GROW. You want to grow from here, right? I know I do. I want to grow from here. I just don't want to go from here. You got to evaluate your personal. You have to. Oh, man. What did I do here? Okay. It's not going to work. You have to evaluate your personal situation, number one, right? This is my call to action. And you may need to get help to start building this in your life if it's a little bit screwy. If you've got a lot of areas where it's fuzzy, cobwebs and stuff like that, you may need help to get this started in your life. But once you get it started, you don't need any more help. You can actually get somebody to help you, an accountability partner, okay? But I'll tell you, it's worth it. It is worth it. I do offer one-on-one coaching for results. If you need some help, I do offer that, personalized coaching. You can go to soldiersofselfmastery.com. That's one of the reasons why I offer one-on-one personalized coaching, because you may need help getting this started in your life, right? And somebody that can help you be your second set of eyes and ears to help you achieve what it is that you want, get the results that you want, help you get there faster, help you get there permanently. That's what coaching is all about, my friends. If you don't need a coach, you can do this on yourself, with yourself. The other things that you're going to need for this is you need to have a really good reason. You need to have desire, and you need to get a plan together. Plan, right? No pun intended there with that. So you need to have desire. You need to have a good reason that's going to pump fuel into your desire. And of course, you need to have a plan every single day. Come on now. You can't do it without a plan. So there's my call to action. What are you going to do with what I've just shared with you? All right, Santos, I know I got to work on it more. All right, my friends. Let me see who else has been on here. There's a couple of latecomers here. Do you have a question? My friend, I want to thank each and every one of you guys from around the world. You've been here with me for a little bit. You have a question, you've got an observation, you've got something that you want to ask me. Maybe you know something about planning that I didn't talk about, because planning is a huge deal, right? It's a big deal. Planning is a big, big deal. In fact, I posted this. What is my I do want to share that. I do want to share this. And I want to share this. I got a few comments here before we get ready to close the program. Somebody said, looks like they've been taxed $400 for something good. I'm not too sure what Laura's talking about there. Taxed $400. Rob says, turning stone, Indian casinos are jinxed. Well, the sad thing is about these casinos is that they're going to continue to grow and they're going to continue to pop up all over the place. And those of you that are continually, I guess I really don't. If you go to a casino once a year, if you can control yourself, I can't judge. Well, I'm not going to judge you regardless, right? That's your business. That's between you and God. But I'm not here to talk to really those people that are going once or twice or three times a year and you're in control. I'm here talking to those of you that are struggling with gambling. There might be one or two, or there might be a few here that are watching this program, or you may come after this episode gets posted on YouTube. You have to plan effectively. You have to plan effectively. And in fact, I just lost my train of thought. You dog, you. Anyways, we are talking about planning. We're talking about, what did I talk about? Coaching. I talked about having, let me see. Sometimes I think planning is like talk is cheap. Could be. Good point. Oh, yeah. Those of you that are giving to the casinos, there we go. Come on, Santos. If you're giving to the casinos, you need to plan. Obviously, you need to plan. You need to do something and divert your income. Be wise about it. Start making. Again, you can't keep going in that direction. You're growing these casinos. You're making them bigger. And I'm telling you, that's going to defeat you. That's going to eat at you, and it's just not the way to go. So if you're in here and you're struggling with gambling, you need some help. If you do need some help, one-on-one help, remember I mentioned GABA. You can enroll. It's pennies on the dollar right now. A lifetime commitment, lifetime videos that nobody else has, a worksheet to guide you through the process. We deal with temptation. We deal with starting out, accountability. There's some bonuses included in the GABA, the Gambling Addictions Breakthrough Academy. Invest in yourself, invest in your future before we hit 2020, my friend. That supports the mission also. So I'm done. Let me see who else has something to share with me on this episode. And we were talking about planning, having a plan, and having desire to get this thing going. I'm here to help anybody that wants help. Because when I help you, my friend, I help myself. All right. My job is keeping me busy. Jim says, sometimes I think planning is like talk is cheap. We read that. We need you, Santos. Like, is it Orkin? Is it Orkin that says, we need you, Orkin? The bug, the exterminator. I think it's Orkin. One of them. We need you. Anyways, I need some questions. I need some comments. Hey, there's Pete. Online casinos will wipe you out. Let me see. Pete says online casinos will wipe you out eventually if you keep on betting every day. That's right. That's right. I know they did to me, Pete. That's exactly what they did to me. And I hit some kind of a rock bottom a few years ago, and it was ugly, man. Ugly, ugly, ugly. You know, lots of money down the drain. In fact, I'm still dealing with the collateral damage of the work that I've done over 32 plus years, my friend. It wears at you right up here. That's why you have to plan against it. You have to plan. You must plan. You must get better at planning. This helps. The new revised version. Another book. All right, my friends. Support the mission. That's what we need. Any other questions before I close house? Before I close up shop? I will see you all on Sunday Night Alive Power Hour. Our next episode will be 99. We will meet here again at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on YouTube, Soldiers of Self-Mastery. Remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications so that when I create videos or go live, you'll be notified, my friends. I want to thank you, each and every one of you guys from around the world, wherever you may be. Plan. Remember, we don't plan to fail. We fail because we don't plan. I'll see you on the next episode. Soldier of Self-Mastery out.